obviously they kind of got to you early last time you faced this lineup. How did you attack them differently this time, and especially those top 3 hitters in the Phillies lineup?
The game plan wasn't to change necessarily. I think I went back and looked at my game. It was more just about executing. I think especially the early homers that you talk about purely just weren't executed pitches. The one to Trey was a non-competitive backup cutter that was middle, and the first one to Schwarb was a fastball middle away. So my priority was not necessarily to change the whole game plan, not really go back to the drawing board, but more of just focus on each and every pitch and just trying my best to execute each and every pitch.
Okay, over on the left in the middle.
You had some traffic in the first couple innings, then really settled down as the game went on. What did you open up? What adjustments did you make that second time through the order?
Probably going back to him, didn't really try to change too much. I was confident that the game plan was gonna work, and even though we did have traffic there with the walks, Harper and Schwarber are both super locked in right now. They're not missing too many mistakes, so I'm not too mad about putting them on base right now. If the worst thing they get to me all day is a walk, I went in tonight being okay with that. And just trusting that in between those guys that I had the confidence to get the other guys out. I just really didn't want to have those guys beat me. So if I did have a little bit of traffic on base, I just tried to trust my stuff and get some ground balls or get some quick outs after that.
Okay, we're going to go far left.
Merrill, when you were taken out, you appeared to be upset. Can you talk about your emotions there and the thought and what you wanted?
Yeah, I just don't like ever coming out of a game. That's partly just me being stubborn, also partly just the situation. I think partly why I was upset right there was I was kind of just taken off guard by it. I just went through their top 3, punched out 2 of them, 90 pitches through 5. I'm thinking I'm for sure going back out for 6. And then when I came in and saw his hand out for the handshake that I was done, it kind of just, I think, kind of took me by shock more than anything. And in that situation, obviously, NLCS Game 6, I want to be out there. I want to help my team win. And that's kind of my mentality. But we had a conversation after that inning. He kind of broke down why it was that he took me out and the reason behind it. And at the end of the day, I trust my bullpen. It's not about me not trusting who's coming in behind me. It's just me trusting myself, I think. But at the end of the day, the guys behind me came in and did a great job. And at the end of the day, if we win, then that's what matters.
Down here in front, Howard.
Merrill, two quick ones if I could. First, getting swings and misses, getting them to chase was a bigger part of your game tonight than typically is during the night. Is that just an adjustment you guys were making, seeing what they were doing with your stuff, and how does that come about?
Yeah, I think that's just me when I'm good. I'm the type of guy that I kind of have to live on the edges. I don't have the 95-plus fastball. I don't have the super spinny breaking ball. So I kind of make a living on making people make decisions, right? And if I'm living on the edges, that forces them to make decisions, and it forces them to swing at pitches that maybe they wouldn't normally or maybe they shouldn't be swinging at. And I think when I'm locating those pitches, especially with the ability to change directions and change speeds, I think that's probably when I'm at my best.
I just wonder if since this time, since you came out of the game, you've had a chance to reflect on how far you've come over these past few years to be able to have a moment like this tonight.
Yeah, it's been fun. It's been a good journey. I've said it before. If you would have told me I'd be sitting here 5 years ago, even when I did make it to the big leagues for the first time, I would have told you were probably crazy. There was a lot of hurdles that I think I had to get over and get past to get here. I definitely don't take sitting here talking to you guys for granted. I don't take for granted that I was the Game 6 starter today and helped the D-backs, win a crucial Game 6. It's been fun to, kind of enjoy it with these guys in our clubhouse and on that side. And I think a lot of them have helped me get here. But it's been fun, and I'm just trying to kind of take everything and enjoy it.
Okay, we're going to go back to the far left again.
What, if anything, will you say to Brandon? It's Game 7 for him, and in the next 24 hours, less than that, will you talk to him?
Yeah, I've seen the maturity and the development of Brandon has come a long way from when he first got called up and got roughed up a little bit, and then we sent him back down. But ever since he's come back, I've said it to a lot of different people. I feel like every time he takes the ball, he gets a little bit better. And I'm probably just going to tell him to do what he did at home, right? He threw a really, really good game at home against these guys. And I think he's going to be a really good pitcher in this league for a long time. He's got the makeup for it. He has the stuff for it. He doesn't get rattled. He's got a pretty slow heartbeat for how young he is. But I would probably tell him just go compete and have some fun.
Anything else, Merrill? Okay, Merrill, thanks a lot.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Okay, we'll get started with Torey Lovullo. First question for Torey. We'll start with JP on the right.
Thanks, Torey. Your direct quote from earlier today, I got a lot of information that says Tommy Pham should have a good day today. How did you know?
Well, first of all, I know he's got a warrior mentality. He didn't like watching a game the other day from the other side. I know that he feels like he got benched, but I just was giving him a little bit of a blow. And I know that a lot of the information that I had in front of me and very targeted information said that it was a really good matchup for him and Nola. So it ended up working out well, right? He gets a really good swing off on a breaking ball and gives us a 1-0 lead. So it was a great moment for him and a great moment for this team.
Over here on the left, second row.
Torey, what kind of difference do you think it made, especially in this stadium, jumping out to a lead for the first time in the series?
Well, the obvious one is the crowd. It was considerably more quiet for those middle innings when I think things can get really ramped up here. But once they get somebody on base or they score a run, it picks up again. But we kept tacking on a run, and I think that's a very powerful statement when you just add another point here and there. And I just feel like those early runs let us exhale a little bit. It's an elimination game for us. We know what's at stake. We knew we had to do, and we were in the middle of doing it. And I think we just started to relax a little bit, and we just continued to capitalize throughout the course of the day. It was a much cleaner game. It was very close to a Diamondback type of a baseball game. There are some things we have to clean up, and we will. But I was very pleased overall with the effort, and I think the crowd was out of it, and we just started to make those statements, and I was very happy about it.
A few more for Torey. JP.
Torey, what can you share about the conversation with Merrill after the fifth?
Well, it's what I expect from Merrill. He's an unbelievable competitor. Never wants to be taken out of a game until his tank is absolutely empty. He was making statements to me that told me that he was capable of going back out there, but I've got to be the parent in the room and make a tough decision and hand it over to a bullpen that's been very, very efficient. He had done his job. It was 65 pitches through 3. That was a concern. It was 48 after 2. That was a concern. So I was managing his workload. I was watching his stuff. It was, in my opinion, it was just time to come out of the game. What I can share about it is he was pounding the table to go back out there and was shocked that I was going to remove him from the game. But we had another brief conversation, and I explained to him why I was doing it, and he began to slowly understand. But there's so much stimulus, there's so much activity and so many thoughts that he's having that, and I've never been a pitcher, so I don't know exactly what it is, but I've been around enough to know that really outstanding pitchers never want to come out of the game, and that's what he was trying to do. He was trying to make that statement.
On the left side, towards the middle aisle.
Torey, Alec Thomas had a big day at the plate, getting on 3 times, but he also, I think, had 6 putouts and turned a lot of balls in the gap, cut them off and kept them as singles. And he's been doing this all series. What has having that kind of defense in center field done for your ability to stay in games?
Well, we believe in pitching and defense. It's who we are at our core, and I think it's helped us hang in and win a lot of baseball games. And we have a lot of grit. We grind out our wins. We don't power through 10-1 wins very often. So the fact that he can run balls down adds a lot of confidence. It gives our pitchers a lot of confidence to make pitches, knowing he's going to cover that space out there. And he's still growing and learning as a player. So defensively, I think he's pretty close to who he's going to be for the majority of his career. And he's made some unbelievable plays that have saved us out there. And you're right. I thought he covered a lot of ground and a lot of space out there, and it gives us a lot of comfort in knowing that he can make those plays.
Over here on the right side.
And Torey, a little more on Alec. In terms of the at-bats he's had, we've seen the power develop more this year. How significant in a Game 6 was it to see him have, at-bats that display maturity to you?
Well, first of all, I think he's surveying the strike zone, understanding what's in his area that he's looking to fire at. And to me, that's just a very mature at-bat. We've been talking about towards the back half of our season as a team, we want to have a more mature approach and a more mature at-bat, meaning, get the pitch I'm looking for, fire on it, and not miss it. And Alec is in a really good spot. So it means that, things are balanced. His head's on the baseball, his hands are loaded up, and those are the positions that every hitter works really hard to get into on a consistent basis. And I think he's been making really good swing decisions. So he's been a little bit of a catalyst for us, for sure. I think, base hit, stolen base, just going up and doing the job that he needs to do, and scoring some big runs for us. I think he was a big part of our offense today.
Greg on the left.
Thanks, Torey. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you, Greg.
So I'm curious about the mood of the players right after the win. Like, you guys are known for enjoying your victories before you put them away.
Yeah.
What was the mood like tonight? And do you think that that's affected at all, knowing what you've got in front of you tomorrow?
Yeah, I think we enjoyed it. I think there were a lot of F yeahs as we were shaking hands, and I think everybody was excited. And I like that. We deserve this moment. We're going to play Game 7, and for me, Game 7, it's like all hands on deck. Anything is possible. Game 7s are Game 7s for a reason. So we earned the right to play in that game, and I'm proud of the guys for that. So I want them to enjoy it. They're excited, but at some point tonight, we're going to probably turn the page and set our sights on their starting pitcher, set our sights on what our job is, and make sure we get a good night's rest. So I'm really proud of the boys, but I want them to celebrate. They're in a very good mood in that clubhouse right now.
JP?
Torey, just curious a bit more about the Kelly-Schwarber matchup. First and second inning, he walked, but the last time he faced him, he struck him out. How did you see him navigate trouble and be able to eventually attack later on?
Yeah, I think Merrill was starting to spin the baseball. And he was landing pitches and some key spots that we have been trying to land them in against that particular hitter. So it's not rocket science. You can go back and look at it. But for me, it's probably changing sight lines in and out and then spinning the baseball. And I think Merrill started to get locked in those middle innings. Well, I'm going to say innings 4 and 5. Those were very, very good innings for him by landing a secondary pitch that was not a cutter or a changeup.
Any last ones for Torey? All right, Torey.
Thanks.